we see Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan or whoever like slam dunking or alley-oop, and we think, oh, I'm not going to look like that. And one of my beliefs is really hard to look good and get better at the same time. Like mastery is beautiful. And that's because we suck at things, we don't look that good. But they sucked at one point too. So if you're worried about looking bad, bro, you gonna look bad. That's just part of the process. But it's really, 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 really hard to get better and look good. So you might as well just get started. And it's gonna suck. You're gonna suck, but that's okay. You gotta start.
I'm gonna be honest. Welcome back to the Computer Keys channel. I am Marquise, and today we're back with another episode of my tech story interview series. This is something I started to show that there's a lot of different ways you can get into tech. So I got AD with me. We met through Jarrett. Connected this probably like a week ago at this point. Like this might be like the quickest turnaround to like an interview. So I appreciate you taking the time to do this. I'm excited to get into like what you do and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I appreciate you taking this time. Let me swap this camera over. Let me see.
Right, much better. Much better.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna get into like the questions. I told you it's like just going through. So we're gonna start with like getting to know you a little bit, and then we're gonna get into like what you do and everything, which I'm excited about that.
Yeah. Let's do it, bro.
Doing research and everything, like yeah. So I'm gonna start with your name, age, location, home. You don't gotta remember everything I'm saying.
Okay.
I got you.
Okay.
Name, age, location, hometown, race or ethnicity, fun fact, and it's like some interests outside of what you do.
Yeah, I got you. So my name is AD. It's short for Augustic Dunbar. That's a mouthful, I know. So for the corporate world and just to make it easier for people, I'm like, just call me AD. I'm in Dallas, Texas now, but I was raised in Houston. 33. You said age, name, location. What do I do? You said a fun fact. Yeah. Bro, I love anime, which, you know, a lot of people in tech do, but I love psychology, bro. I think that like I study the way people study tech and like learn new things all the time. I'm always learning new like psychology, like not tricks, but like things about human nature and the human brain. Right. I believe in living an outstanding life. Like that's my goal, is to be here, become the best version of myself, and kind of present that to the world, if that makes sense. And I really don't believe that someone is capable of being the best version of themselves if they're fighting their nature, right? So I need to know what my nature as a man, as a human, as a male human being is, so that I can live in line with it, if that makes sense, right? So I love studying human nature. I love studying psychology. Death Note is my favorite anime of all time. Like Light Yagami is him, he is me. You know what I'm saying? And then I just do RPA. I do RPA and RPA only.
Gotcha. I think you got everything. Got to like the fun facts and stuff. I've been trying to get into anime a little bit more. Like I know some of like what's it called? The joint with the big people. Attack on Titan.
With the big people. Yeah.
Yeah, that I started that one. Then the bull, he was just like annoying as shit. So I'm like, all right, let me find something else that like so I'm gonna check out Death Note.
Check out so if you it depends on what type of stuff you like to watch. Like if you like, I like thrillers, but if you like action, I got some. And here's the other thing about me, bro. I'm a little snobby. So like there's a lot of bullshit anime out there and I don't watch most of it. You rap, just like most rap sucks. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be able to sift through. So depending on what you're looking for, if I were you, bro, I would start with a shorter one. And there's one called Akame ga Kill. Bro, that one is dope. That one's action oriented. They've got one called Parasite the Maxim that is amazing. So like I tell people, start with something small. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's what I need.
Yeah. You can't start with like a Dragon Ball Z or even an Attack on Titan, because like that's 5-6 seasons. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. I'll be getting overwhelmed. It's like 100 episodes, dude. I'm like, yo,
start with
ain't no way I'm ever gonna catch up with them though. But yeah, I'm gonna see what's up. And then you mentioned like psychology and everything. I feel like it's cool like being able to, and later on we're gonna get into like what you do to gain knowledge and stuff now. So I'm curious about that, and then of course like what you do within your field. But like, just kind of like keeping your mind open to different concepts and like psychology or other fields that you might not necessarily do professionally or whatever, but like just keeping your knowledge up with those things. Like I like that type of stuff because it adds to like the well-roundedness of like what you, like who you are as a person. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't put yourself in these boxes. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I love shit like that. But all right, bet. So you said 33?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, like you doing your thing. I'm 31, so I'm about to see what's up with what you doing, and then by 33, I'm trying to be.
Bro, there's some killers in this game who are like younger than me, like where I was at like 25, 26. I'm like, bro, I thought I was him. No, these guys are killing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm excited to get into like what you do, because that's the next question. So is, what do you do for how long, and if you feel comfortable, like a salary or salary range? You go by the RPA guy. I want you to get into like the acronym, but then like, you know, obviously like what you actually doing.
Yeah. Okay. So obviously I go by AD, the RPA guy, and I'm sitting here looking at my goals, and like one of my goals was to have people introduced to RPA through me. Right. And kind of like you said yesterday when we were chatting, like, bro, I'd never heard of it. That's the point. Right. So RPA, I'll get into my history first. So I've been doing RPA since 2018. Right. It's been around really, like its infancy was like 2010. But when I got started in it in 2018, it was like no one knew what it was. Like, and by the time I'm in it for what, 5 years, would have been 2023. Like, because it's so relatively new and no one's heard of it, it's like you're a senior at 5 years in on a new technology, if that makes sense. And I started out my career working at one of the country's largest telecommunication companies. I was a front end and back end engineer. Right, we were talking about Angular 1 and Angular 2 and all that. I'm sure we're gonna get into that story. And yeah, man. So I like RPA because it's simple, it's straightforward, and I believe that is the simplest tech skill that anyone can learn in terms of getting into tech. So now we can break down the acronym. So RPA is short for Robotic Process Automation, right? And the R is marketing, the robotic part. Like there's nothing, because when people think robots, they think physical robots with arms and legs and things. There's nothing really robotic about it. So like when you write some code or you write a script, like that is like that piece of code or that entire file is a thing, right? So the thing that you create when you click run and you click play or whatever is called a bot, if that makes sense. But there's nothing really robotic about it. It's so if you drop the R, you're just left with process automation. So that's all it is. It's process automation. Instead of coding, you're dragging and dropping.
Got you.
Are you familiar with Scratch? It's like Scratch. It's just like Scratch. It's just like Scratch. And when I came across it, I was like, ain't no way in hell, bro. There's no way that this profession, the average person, now this is, you know, you go on different websites and things like that, they say different things. I think I saw this on Glassdoor. It said the average RPA developer today is earning $130,000. Right now, me personally, I'm not average, so I'm never going to ask for what the average is asking. What the average, I'm always going to want more because I'm not average, right? So when I got into the field, I was just like, I remember I had my first interview, and this came from after me leaving this telecommunication company and then going to another banking company where they had like a proprietary code thing, right? Where like if you get stuck, and just for the listeners, proprietary means this shit don't exist nowhere else. So if you get stuck and don't know what to do, you can't go on Google, you can't call a friend, you gotta reach out to someone else in the company. And this particular company, bro, they were very cheap, so all of their developers were like working on 2, 3, 4, 5 projects, so no one had the time to help me, right? Left there, and then I got a call from a guy. He's a recruiter, and he said something about RPA, and he said robotic processes, and I'm like, all right, I mean, I don't know about robots, but I need a job, so I'm gonna show up. And then I show up to the interview, and they proceeded to ask me some of the easiest coding questions I had ever seen. I was like, what is this, right? It was like a loop question, and it was like you know, a question where a variable is changed 2 or 3 times. You're like, okay, what's the value of the variable after? I'm like, wait, why is this so simple? Right. And he basically said, look, we just need someone who can code at all. We don't care what the language is. We just need to know that you know how to code. And then secondly, we need to know that we can put you in front of a client and you're not going to put your foot in your mouth and make us look bad. I said, I'm a people person and I know how to code. I can do both those things. Right. And so RPA was the first technology that I learned in my career where it was like, bro, like I'm a superstar everywhere I go. They're like, bro, like, how do you do this? And the thing that makes me different from like some other RPA developers, and here's the other thing, bro. No shot at you, because obviously I'm getting to know you. I don't like software developers. I don't. Not all of them. Because one, they think they know it all. And then two, some of them, like, bro, they write code. I write code to get the goddamn job done. They write code to make it look all pretty and creative. And I'm like, bro, just get the job done. And I've seen software developers turn RPA developers, and they write all this complex shit. And I'm like, bro, you did in 32 lines what could have been done in 6. I just don't understand it. Right. And then the shit don't work. Then they bring me in to fix it. I'm like, bro, let's tear this down. Let's tear this whole thing down and start over, because I can't stand coming in behind somebody else, especially somebody who's trying to, you know, make something look beautiful and all that stuff. Yeah, exactly, bro. So yeah, man, that's what RPA is. And the analogy that I like to use, I tell people, let's say that as a software developer, we're going to switch it from software developer. We're going to say you build homes and I build homes, right? If you build homes using brick and mortar and wood and hammer and nails and all that, let's just say I 3D print homes, right? So I push a button and I print a wall. I push that button 2 to 3 more times. I got 2 to 3 more walls. I switch my settings a little bit. I push the button. I print a roof, right? I'm engineering. You're engineering. It's going to be a lot quicker for me to build a home than it is for you. And not only that, the learning curve is shorter. So I can become a master of my craft far quicker than someone else who's just doing general software developing is doing.
I got so many questions, yo. All right. No, it's just so you broke it down beautifully though. So like the way you took off and just process automation, the way you like, I'm imagining like we was talking about analogies and stuff yesterday when we talked. So like I'm just looking at it like kind of like stuff in a box, I guess, like the code inside of this thing, and then when you need it, I can just go in and get what I need out of there. So this whole process is held within this thing, and then I can use this bit of this, what you call it, bot, along with this bot, and then have them kind of go through the same flow that I could have coded out.
Yes, bro. Think about it. Here's how simple it is. So let's just say you're writing code in, I don't know what language, but it's some language that allows you to open applications and do things, right? So let's say Python. If you wanted to, and I'm going to have you give me your best guess because I don't know. If you wanted to write some code in Python that opens up Google Chrome, goes to google.com, searches for anything at all, and then presses enter, how many lines of code do you think it would take to do those 4 activities? 10, 20, 30?
Yeah, let's just say 15.
Okay. With RPA, like it's 2 or 3 activities. There's like an open browser activity. You just drag that bitch in. And then it's like, okay, well, what website do you want to go to? You type in google.com. All right. Then what do you want it to do? You want it to type into the browser, and then you want to hit enter. So like it's 4, like you're dragging activities, right? And if you've never written code before, you think, oh, this is simple. But like one activity is like 3, 4, 5 lines of code. Does that make sense? So I tell people, you don't necessarily need to learn how to code to do this. You will learn how to code a bit in the process because you still have variables, you still have functions, you still have arguments and parameters and all of that other good stuff. It's just far, far more simple.
So do you think that it's more of an understanding of logic than it is like the actual code itself, like more so understand?
Yes. Because you still have to think programmatically. You still have to think step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 in the right order. You still have what do you want to call those? You still have try-catch areas. So it has everything code has. It's just it's been packaged a little neater, right? And then here's the other thing that's gonna blow your mind, bro. They have something called a citizen developer, right? And what that is these RPA vendors will go into companies and say, hey, this is such an easy thing to do. We can teach one of your people in billing how to do it. We can teach one of your business people how to do it. We can teach someone in product management how to build a bot. And then they can automate their own job. And now you don't even need to hire anyone to build bots because they're doing it. Like, it's so simple and straightforward that the vendors of the company is like, hey, anybody can learn how to do it. And it technically it's true. Now, it doesn't always go that way because an employee, there's a couple of things that I see happen. One, they're like, why am I going to build this thing to automate my job? No, I'm not going to have no job. Right. So they kind of resist in that way. And then other times they're like, why am I learning extra things this is not my job. So most of them don't do it. So what I've seen is like they'll have 100 people, or let's say there's 2,000 people in your company. They'll send an email saying, hey, we got this new automation software. If anyone wants to learn, we're going to be bringing in, Deloitte or whoever to teach. They send the email out to 2,000 employees. 50 of them say, hey, I'll show up. 20 of them actually do. And of the 20, one of them like actually latches onto it and is like, hey, I'm going to be a boss for the company. That's usually how the numbers work, but anybody can do it. I tell people, if you're not like 70 and you don't have arthritis in your fingers and you're not afraid of technology, you can learn how to do RPA.
So, I guess my last kind of technical question is what, so like when I'm doing Java or something like that, I'm using IntelliJ, Eclipse, VS Code, something like that. So what are you using?
The IDEs.
Yeah, what IDE are you using?
So there's one called UiPath. They are probably, they're probably one of the biggest ones in the space. They're number one or number two, depending on how you look at it. They are, so you've got a couple of companies, the public companies that have went public already, UiPath. Then you have Blue Prism as well. That's another one. And then you also have Automation Anywhere, right? I actually worked for Automation Anywhere in the past. They've yet to go public, which I want them to do because I own shares. So please go public. And then fourth, and probably the biggest disruptor in the market, you have Microsoft, right? Microsoft has their own called Power Automate Desktop. They have Power Automate, which is the browser version of it. It's kind of like Zapier. It's automation in the cloud and all that. But they have a desktop version that is called Power Automate Desktop, and it's free, bro. If you have a Windows computer, you have it for free. And if you want to get the paid version, it's $5 a month. And it's so cool because it works like code. Like you can build you're a smart enough guy, bro. You can open it up on your laptop today, build you a bot. And the very, very cool thing about it is when you build the bot, like you can Control A, Control C, and just copy everything and like shoot it into someone in an email. They can paste it in theirs and they have the exact same thing, bro. It's when I talk about distribution of bots, Microsoft is winning hands down, bro. Hands down.
Damn. All right. So all right, that's perfect actually. So the next question is, what and or who first got you interested in tech or your field? So we're gonna go back a little bit. You mentioned that you've been doing this since
2018.
2018. So what were you doing before that? Like, I would say like after school, because we didn't get into your school yet, but like you mentioned before that you were working at like a telecommunication type job.
Yeah. So I'll go back to college.
So what were you doing? What did you do after college? Dude?
So I graduated from the University of North Texas with my computer science degree, right? And I remember taking, computer science 101, and then I got into like data structures and algorithms. That shit was hard, right? So then I ended up getting lots of interns. I interned at IBM. I interned at like another company. They're kind of, you could say they compete with like the GroupMe and like WhatsApps of the world at the time. I don't know if they're still in business right now. But I also had my son at 19. So like I was trying to get it. Like by the time I showed up at my first real corporate job, they were like, bro, how have you worked so many jobs? I'm just like, I needed the money, right? And so, yeah, bro, I was basically just doing front end and back end development. I love PHP. That's still like my favorite language. I don't even know.
PHP. I haven't heard that in a while.
Yeah, bro, that was my
shit. That was me too. Like early on, that was one of my like before I got really heavy into Java. Yeah, PHP was my shit.
Yeah. And so, yeah, bro, I was doing a lot of PHP, and then I got into the telecommunications companies. My first big boy job. I'm making probably like $65,000 a year at that point. And I'm the first one in my family to go to college, first one to graduate, first one to really work and get a job. And I remember they tried to get me to like learn Angular, and I was like, and again, I'm learning there's functional programming languages and there's procedural programming languages. And I guess most of what I had been learning up to that point was like PHP. I think it was procedural. And then they had me try to like learn Angular, and I was like, this shit is cool, but bro, this shit is hard, like to wrap my brain around it. And it's my first job. So I'm feeling like, bro, if I don't learn this, I'm not going to be very good. I'm not going to be able to keep a job. I didn't have AI at the time to teach me. You know what I'm saying? And so I remember we went.
My fault, real quick. What year was this?
2014. This was 2014. Yep. And so they're trying to teach me Angular. And I also recall around that time I was in a maybe it was a few years later. I was in this premarital counseling. Me and my wife were, and there was this lady, and I had met several people, but this lady was the one who stuck out to me, who started as software developers in their career, and then they switched to something totally different because they're like, I don't want to have to keep learning new things. And I remember I was struggling with Angular, and then Angular 2 was about to come out, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna have to learn this. And I'm like, bro, this is already a struggle. And this shit looked way more difficult, and it looked different. I don't want, and I kept remembering people say, I don't want to have to relearn new things again. To me, if I learn something today and I use it for 1, 2, 3 years, and then I got to throw that away and I got to learn something new, to me, I'm wasting my brain power. I would like to learn things that build upon each other. Right. And so that's why I like RPA, is because the tool at its core is the tool. Now with the advent of AI is kind of like merged into it. So they have something called, I think it's called autopilot, where basically like you can type into the AI in the RPA tool and tell it like, hey, I need to automate a workflow that does X, Y, and Z, and it'll build the skeleton for you. And all you then got to do is go and like plug and play. Right. And so like, I don't have to learn AI to use AI with an RPA. It's the core is still the core. It's like a new feature is added on. And so it's kind of like you master Microsoft Word, which only does so much as Microsoft Word, but they might then make a new plugin or make a new whatever. And it's like, okay, I can learn this new feature without having to learn a whole new skill altogether. And that's why I decided like, bro, I'm sticking with RPA and I'm not doing nothing else.
That's an interesting perspective. So I'm looking at the timing of it. So 2014, I was like a junior or something like that, maybe a sophomore. So I missed the early stuff of Angular. So I can, and like it was a huge shift from the initial Angular JS that they made to Angular 2 and like up to now 14, 17, whatever they're up to now. It was a big change. So if I learned that John first and then had to switch to that, I can only imagine like that difference. So like when I got out, I learned Angular, like the current version. I learned like, and that to me, that's easier than what they had. I think that's why they revamped it so much, because like what you was learning with Angular, the original one, was like crazy. So it's crazy like how like you encountering that kind of shaped a lot of stuff though. You know what I'm saying? Like your decision to like decide like, yeah, I don't want to keep having to make these major shifts. And I get what you're saying though, like I do like learning new stuff, but it's more so adding on to what I'm doing. So like I already know REST, and now I'm learning like Supergraph and stuff, and like it's still API calls, it's still like the same type of thing, you know what I'm saying? So no, that's cool to hear like you deciding that you like, yeah, this not gonna be for me, and then you finding something that you like realize this is I can like see myself doing for the long haul.
Yes. So let me throw this in there too, because this is relevant, and I think the people would benefit from hearing it. So I'm in RPA. This is probably 2019, 2020. This is you know what this is October, November 2020, because I think Trump was about to win. Right. That's why I remember this. And I had a cousin, right? And I had found RPA, and we had a conversation. And so he went to the University of North Texas, so I went to the University of North Texas. He played basketball, so I played basketball. He liked light-skinned women, so I started liking light-skinned women, right? Like I just followed him, right? And so I remember he had got on the Android development wave very, very early on, like 2007, 2008, when no one knew what it was. Like Android phones weren't even a major thing yet. Right. And I remember me and him talking, and he travels the world, and he's kind of hard to get in touch with. So we would speak once every 6 months or so. Right. So we're catching up. And I remember him telling me that he is at a point now where he only accepts contracts or work with Android that he like enjoys. He's like, if I don't think it's a cool project, I'm not taking it on. I'm not doing the work. I don't want to do it. And I remember thinking, bro, I can't even imagine getting to a point where like I'm turning work down because I don't enjoy it. Right. And so I was like, all right, bro, how do I get to the point? And he said people are reaching out to him on LinkedIn for these things. I said, how do I get to the point where I can find a skill set where people can reach out to me and I yay or nay the things that I do or don't want to do based on what I want to do. And it's not really about anything else. And he told me a few things. He said, hey, go make a website, write a few blogs, and you want to position yourself as the subject matter expert of whatever that thing is. And ideally, let it be something that no one knows about, that's growing in demand. And there was one more thing that I'm forgetting. And I was like, fuck, that's RPA. It's growing in demand. No one knows about it. I put me together a website, right? The RPAguy.net. And so that's all I did, bro. And all these opportunities start coming to me. And again, I'm a senior in it at 5 years because no one even knows what it is, right? Like Microsoft didn't even acquire their RPA product until like a two and a half years ago, right? So, and by then I had already had 5 years experience. And an RPA tool is an RPA tool. I tell people, you learn one, you've learned them all because the differences are small. But at the end of the day, you're just automating processes using a visual drag and drop tool. That's all it is.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to this, John, because like I want to try it out, bro. But I'm trying to see how I can use it to my advantage within my life.
You would never go back to coding if you use this, bro. Like I look at someone like you, and I'm like, y'all are working too hard. You working too hard. Like you're like, I learned this, and then learned that, and then I learned all that, bro. I'm trying to get the job done.
It's mainly because like especially when you're in corporate America, and that's the last thing before we move into, because you kind of already answered what got you into tech. So, in corporate America, you kind of like doing whatever they already are. Like it might be an old app or something like that already there. So, are you like freelance now, or are you still in corporate America? Like,
where are you doing most of your work? I still have a contract that I work. At one point, I was doing the what do they call that? The overemployment thing, working multiple, making $500,000 a year. It was great, but I was just working till 10 o'clock sometimes at night. And I didn't like it. But yeah, so I run my company. I do have a contract that I still work on as well. And it was just, bro, the taxes got to be insane with all the job stacking and stuff like that. So I needed to start a business. And more than anything, bro, I tell people this, they make fun of me. I'm in tech, but I don't consider myself a tech guy. Like I'm actually far more people oriented. Like I don't want to be in a room left alone by myself. No one talk to me, get the job done. I mean, I can do that. I can do that. Like I find that relaxing, but I'm more so. And when I say I'm people oriented, I don't want to be a manager either. Like I've never wanted to be in management. And after you go so high, that's all you can do. Now you're managing developers. So I never wanted to do that, but I love coaching, bro. I love coaching. Bro, I've met millionaires and billionaires, right? Where I walk in rooms, I'm talking to them, and like, because I've made so many mistakes myself, because I love psychology, because I'm very much, I'm aware of myself, my triggers, my strengths, I'm aware of all of that shit. So anytime I've seen a person doing something that I've done, like I can see a pattern, right? I'm like, oh, bro, I can tell that you're stressed or frustrated with this. You think the problem is this, the real problem is this, and all you got to do is that, and then it's you ain't got to worry about it. And they're like, oh, that's crazy. Like, and it's like, but I've been there. I've made so many mistakes. So I'm much more psychology focused than I am like coding focused. I do enough coding to get the job done. But even at this point, bro, I'm at the point now where it's just like, I've got a team of people within RPA University. That's my coaching program, where it's like, I go get the work and I just divvy it out to them. You know what I'm saying? Because they need the experience more than I do. Right. I'm already paid. I'm already in corporate America. Now my job is to duplicate and to have other people become successful using this technology.
Wow. Yeah, I'm looking forward to like really learning more about it. So you real quick, so you mentioned your cousin. Is he the one that got you into tech?
Yeah, basically, because he went to college, right? So he was the first person that I knew to have a corporate job, right? When you're going in and working 8 hours a day, and I'm like, bro, what are you putting on slacks and button ups and doing 8 hours in the office? Like, what are you doing? Like, I didn't know. My dad worked in the kitchen. My mom worked as she worked with like the mentally unstable or whatever. That's probably not the way to say that, but she worked with people with special needs. So I didn't know anyone in a corporate office. So yes, he was the first one that went to college, and I remember I would go visit him, and he was a Kappa, and so I would go and we would visit and be on the campus having the parties. I was like, bro, this is what the fuck you're doing up here. So then I just kind of followed him. He went and he worked. I think he worked at TI, the calculator, the chip manufacturing company, for a little bit.
Okay, yeah,
so he would tell me, what his day to day looked like and what he was doing and how much they're paying them and all this other stuff. And so yeah, I basically just followed in his footsteps.
See, that's how it usually is. Like for me, it's my pop. So growing up, he was a computer technician, had his own business and everything. So I was always around computers. But through him, I realized I didn't want to do the
hardware stuff.
Yeah, like he used to be taking people. He was a PC ambulance, so like he would come to you.
Oh, okay.
If he needed to, he'll take the computer with him. So we would be at the crib. Got to fix this computer. We got to rewipe it. Give it new Windows, reinstall stuff. Get the next computer up there, do that, John, like all of that. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be going to people's cribs and all that. So I got into the software stuff more. But yeah, it's either like people either were, and it seemed like you have that too, like where you're naturally inquisitive about other things, because you mentioned like the psychology and stuff like that. But then also having somebody introduce you to this, because a lot of times it's like people either don't know or they didn't have somebody that was there that can show them the ropes or get them that entry point. So I love that you took what he gave you, and then now you're giving that to other people with your university, and like getting opportunities and actually providing that to people. Like,
well, hold on now. I don't want to give him too much credit, and I have an interview with him on my YouTube. I don't want to give him too much credit because here's the thing, bro. I'm thinking, bro, I'm finna get to the college. We finna party together. We finna, what I'm saying, go after girls together, bro. By the time I get to the university, he's gone already. Like he lives off campus. I never see him. So by the time I get to the campus, I'm figuring it out by my damn self. Right? He didn't help me. He gave me the vision. And so I was able to see like, okay, this makes sense. But I don't want to give him all the goddamn credit. He just pointed me in the right direction. I'm still him. Damn it. He didn't do it all for me. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's funny shit. That's really some little cousin shit for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. But no, yeah, it's cool that he was able to give you that inspiration. All right, so before we get into like the school experience, the next question is, was this always your original plan? So like up to that point where you start seeing like what he's doing and everything, what was your plan? Like were you thinking about ball? Were you what were
no,
you thinking
bro.
about?
Hell no, bro. I'm 5'4". No, I was not thinking about sports. I tell people online I'm like 6'11". But yeah, no, bro. So I was raised primarily by drug addicts. Okay. So like my dad, okay, you work in tech. So I'm certain you have met people. You've probably got at least one friend who's like Middle Eastern, right? And they have very high standards in their culture. Like they're like, you must have a master's degree or you're the scum of the earth, right? And a lot of these guys, like even if they go get the master's degree, like another one of the things they want to do is make their family or their father proud and all this other shit. And they be, bro, their culture, a lot of it's a lot of issues over there, right? I've never had those thoughts. Like I've never said I'm gonna make my dad proud or bro. Once I got to college, there was nothing anyone else could tell me because they had never been here. They had never been here. Like there's no more knowledge to get from them. So my mom was like, hey, all I want you to do, she didn't say it this way, but the thing that I remember her communicating to me at a young age was go have light-skinned babies. That's all she cared about. Go have light-skinned. I know. She grew up in a time where colorism was a thing, and it still is a thing. And then my dad would just say, go to college, do something related to math, and you'll be all right. So that was it. That was my only thing. It was just, I'm gonna go to college, I'm gonna do something related to math, and I'm gonna be all right.
Damn. So, my bad. You being the one, sheesh, that's a lot of. Did you feel like? What was the pressure like? Did you not feel pressure because you didn't have?
The pressure was. The pressure was, bro. I am the one. Ain't nobody finna come to my rescue. You know what I'm saying? Like I've got to figure this out. Like ain't nobody to borrow money from in the family. I got to go get the money. You know what I'm saying?
Are you the only child?
My dad's only child. Yes. My mom. On my mom's side, I have 3 sisters.
Okay.
Yep.
So were y'all close growing up? Or
no, bro. My family is very much weird and estranged. It's a lot, but No. And my sisters, I'm 33, so I think my oldest sister just turned 50, 51. Right. And we grew up in, like, I grew up in Houston. She grew up in Michigan, far away. So it's all over the place, bro. It's a lot.
Yeah. All right. I'm not trying to get too deep, but you mentioned like your hopes for like a big family and stuff like that. And I was just curious, like,
yeah,
it seems like you kind of want the thing that you maybe felt you were lacking before.
Yeah, I'll go into that, bro. And I'm also real big on therapy. I go back and forth, bro. I used to say, because I've probably had 5 different therapists at this point. I've got a mentor who, bro, this guy's amazing. And one of the things he says is, if you're an entrepreneur, you need a therapist, period. Right. Because as an entrepreneur, like, you're constantly hearing and dealing with other people's problems. So it's like, they don't need to hear your problems. Right. That you tell that to someone else. But yeah, I think you're right. You hit the needle on the head. Like, I don't know if it's, I want a big family because I didn't come from one, because I have lots of cousins and relatives and things like that, but we were kind of just spread out. Like, we have our family in Houston, then we had our family in Arkansas. But it is very important to me, and thus far I've been able to do it, to create an atmosphere where my children feel safe. Like, that's really important to me, bro. From 7th grade to graduating high school, I went to 5 different schools. There was not a lot of stability, and my parents were on drugs. You see what I'm saying?
That's like every year,
basically. Right? And so creating a lifestyle where we're like in one place for a long period of time, like, you can make friends here, right? Like, I'm not bouncing around. You're not living with me sometimes, living with your mama other time. So I've been able to do that, right? But the funny thing is, these kids today, they different, bro. They don't play outside. They play on Fortnite online. They don't hang out in person. They hang out at school, and then they hang out online after school. They're not getting together like in person. So it's different.
But I love that. This is the type of stuff I'd be admiring about people, is you didn't allow your circumstances to define like what you were going to be in the long run. So you were able to. You mentioned something earlier about understanding yourself and your nature, and allowing that to dictate the moves you make and what your purpose and how you find happiness and stuff like that. So yeah, I really admire people that are able to maybe not have as much like resources or support as other people, or as much of a example, but you being able to find your own way and everything. Like, yeah, I really admire that type of stuff. So would you say that your original plan was just more so to just figure it out? Like, you knew that you were going to do something. Maybe you didn't know exactly what it was. Like, how did you get into tech specifically? Like, what were you thinking before you decided, like, yeah, this is
that was it, bro. Go to school, do something with math.
That was it.
And then my cousin, I remember, he was home. So he was in college, and then one summer he came home, and this particular summer, I think he had just learned a code, and he wrote some program in what's that? The terminal, the prompt terminal thing on Microsoft.
Command prompt. Yeah.
There you go. And this terminal basically asked me for my name and my age. I think I was like 13 at the time or whatever. And then like I was 17, and then he knew my age, so he prompted it to say like, that's not true. What's your real age? And then I put 13. He was like, oh, whatever, right? I was like, bro, that shit is cool. I can do that, right? So that was like, I think you're asking for like a defining moment. Like, when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Right. I think I can do. Right. And from there, it was just like, all right, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to enroll in computer science, because that's what he did. Right. And he kind of told me what professors to stay away from, what, things to do, what not to do, or whatever. And that was just really it, bro. So and it was math related, because I had to take calculus and calculus 2 and linear algebra. Bro, I love linear algebra. Not linear. Is it called linear? Yeah, it's called linear algebra, where you do with the like math with the squares and the 9. Bro, that shit was fascinating to me. Like, if this one thing is true, then these other 9 things are also true. Like, that's how my brain thinks. Period. Like, so yeah, bro, that's just what it was. I just followed him until I got to campus, and then when I got to campus, I knew what degree I was choosing, and then from there, I also knew that the highest paid engineers at that time were petroleum engineers, and then anesthesiologists, right? So the people who put the gas on and like control how much gas people are getting during medical procedures, and then after that was computer science, computer engineer. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm going to be on track to make money as long as I finish this degree, and that's what I did.
I like that. So when it came down to, the next question is, where did you go to school? So you say University of Texas, right?
University of North Texas. Yep.
North Texas. So when it came to going to school, did you do loans, or were you on like a scholarship or anything?
Did I have a scholarship? I didn't have any scholarships. Nah, bro. I didn't have no scholarships, because for scholarships you have to write papers. I'm not writing no paper. I applied to UNT and I also applied to Texas Tech, but again, I had to write a paper. I'm not writing no paper, bro. I'm not writing no paper. And so I ended up I got like, I guess you could call it a scholarship for poor kids. I got that.
Like some grants.
Yeah, I got lots of grants. I got loans. Yeah, that was basically it.
No, like that means you just figuring it out.
You basically,
I'm saying, like you knew you had a plan, and you knew that you were going to go through it. And one thing about it, so far, what I'm getting from what your story so far is, like, you're able to, and it might be more to it, more complex than what I'm seeing it as, but like you're able to like decide things and just go. It's like you make a decision and you like, all right, this is what I'm gonna try, and you just go. And I like that, because I'm similar in that way. It's like solution oriented. So it's like once I decide, like, all right, this is the route I'm gonna take, I'm full fledged. Like I'm just going. So you going to school, you see your cousin, you're like, all right, this the major I'm about to do. I'm going with that. You realize you don't want to really code and keep learning these majorly different concepts and stuff like that. So you find RPA, all right, I'm going with that. Like, and just being able to just put your head down and just go forward. Like, yeah. It seemed like that's kind of like a portion of your personality, I guess, is what I've been getting from that.
Yeah.
So the second part of this question is, what do you do to gain knowledge now? So when you were getting into RPA stuff, even as far as you learning things about psychology and everything, like, are you on YouTube? Like, what are you doing when it's time to learn new things?
YouTube. I absolutely. I'm on you. There's a few content creators on YouTube. Like, I watch their videos faithfully. Like, it drops Monday at 10. I'm watching it. Right. And it's mostly psychologists. And I read as well. I don't read as much. I find I'm the type, I'll pick up a book. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of challenging for me to finish a whole book. It's challenging. Like, I have to really think through it. Yeah, but here's the thing, bro. With an audiobook, I feel like I'm not gonna retain as much unless the audiobook has stories in it. Now, ideally, what I really like to do, what I'm doing now, I'll buy the audiobook and I'll buy the physical book. I'll play the audiobook as I'm reading. So that way I don't get distracted. Right. But I just had, another big thing I completely glossed over, bro. I had a long stint, like 6-year stint in network marketing as well. Right. Oh, wow. So I don't know if you know who Patrick David is. But yeah, he's a very, very, just Google him. He's very, very well known. And so I was inside of his network marketing company, and we sold life insurance and things like that. And so really, while I was there, like, we had a book of the month type of thing, right? So that's where I started reading. I started reading How to Win Friends and Influence People, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, The Millionaire Next Door, Coach by Arthur Williams. So I just started being around all these really successful people in entrepreneurship, and I just got to see what it looked like to make $100,000 a month. I got to see what it looked like to make $500,000 a year, and I started to realize, oh shit, like, it's possible, right? And at this point in time, I'm still employed in tech, but it's like, I don't really like tech. I'm in tech, but I'm really hoping that this network marketing business pops off for me, which it never really did. But bro, I tell people that was where a lot of my maturation process happened. Like, I never went to the military, but network marketing was that for me, right? Because there was a lot of just doing that you don't want to do, like calling people, inviting them to places, driving around, selling policies and all that shit. And I enjoyed my friends. I enjoyed the amount of growth that I had during that period in time. And that has really helped me in every area of my life ever since. So that's what got me reading. And just seeing that, like Patrick Bet-David, the guy who like he sold the company for 9 figures. I don't know what the value was, but like I learned the term autodidact from him. And so that's just someone who's self-taught. Like he doesn't have a college degree. Like you just learn a lot of things, bro. It's amazing what you can learn from a book. It's amazing what bro, someone will spend their entire lifetime, 20, 30, 40 years, and put it in a book for $20. Right? Yeah. One of my favorite authors, my favorite books is Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss. Right? Okay. He is a former FBI hostage negotiator. So the book is all about negotiation. And imagine like how good you have to be to where like you have to win every negotiation you get in, otherwise someone dies.
Oh wow!
Right, and so I read the book. And here's the other thing, bro. I don't like. This is why you never hear me say I just love learning. I learned. I don't know if you've ever heard of Ray Dalio. You ever heard of him? Okay, he's an old rich white billionaire, right? And he trades in markets, so like not just like stocks and gold and bond, like also like corn and all those other things. There's a market with money invested in indexes. He does it, right? And he owns a hedge fund, I think. Anyway, I open his book and he says, people think I'm an old rich white billionaire, so therefore I must know a lot. He's like, the truth is I'm just a regular, guy from whatever who knows just what he needs to know in order to succeed. That's me. I just need to know what I need to know. And so in this negotiation book, I'm reading and here's the other thing, bro. Here's what I believe. At the highest levels of any and everything, they keep it simple. Like winning is simple. Life is simple. We overcomplicate it, especially if you're a smart person. And lots of people in tech are very smart people. We overcomplicate it. We overthink. We overanalyze. But like when you talk about, I saw this. I love Carmelo Anthony. He's one of my favorite players. Right? He was one of the first athletes that Jordan signed to a shoe deal. Right? And he was like, "Hey, bro, I really want to learn how to score. 30 points a game. Like, how do I do it?" He's like, "Bro, it's real easy. It's just 8 points a quarter. That's 4 layups, 2 3-pointers in a layup, 4 jump shots. Like you just break it down. That's what I mean by success is simple. So that's just what I like to do. I like to study people who are phenomenal at what they do. I'll read their books. I'll listen to their podcasts, and they always break it down in a simple way. They give very simple analogies, and then I take those simple analogies, I work on them, and then I meet other people. And I'm like, oh, wow, how did you? I study the best on earth. And I study the simple things that they do, and I try to keep it simple. I try not to overthink and just go. And when I was in network marketing, the people who kept shit simple and weren't thinkers, like it was very difficult. It was very defeating to my ego to be like this really smart guy who was the first one out the hood to go to college and got this degree, and you're making this money. And I join, and I'm used to being praised, and I go join this network marketing company, and all these people who are winning and making this money, they don't think. That's my problem. I think too goddamn much. They are winning. They're like, how did you? I don't know, bro. I just wait. What? And you made what? And bro. And it was inspiring to just realize that, like, bro, so many of us we just overthink things. And I'm not trying to. I don't want to think. I want a simple roadmap to success, and that's what I give all my students, all my clients, a simple roadmap. I'm going to have you learn as few things as you need to get to where you're trying to go, because the goal is not to learn a whole bunch of shit, which is what you need to do in a traditional software development career because the things are changing. But the goal is to decide what lifestyle you want to live, and then from there learn a skill set that you can go to the marketplace and demand an income to live that lifestyle. And for me, it's like, what's the simplest thing I can learn? What's going to demand the least of me so that I can just focus on learning and doing, and then I can have the end result, which is an offer letter and the lifestyle that I want. It's not to continuously learn 10, 12, 30 different things, bro. No, like learn enough to provide value to an organization and then go interview.
Damn, you spitting just now. That was probably the most I've gotten out of like what you do to gain knowledge now. Because you went beyond just certain resources and into mindsets and routines and structures and stuff like that. Like those are the things that I think makes the difference between like somebody that might start something and then they try to overcomplicate it, do too many things at one time, and then now you overthinking this thing and that thing and you never get started, or you're lagging behind or whatever. when you can like get what you need and get going. Like I like that.
That's it, bro.
Yeah, and I think part of it is procrastination, but also perfection is a form of procrastination where people are like, oh, I got like when I started this channel, I had the idea in like January of that year. This is probably like 3 years ago, and then I didn't do shit until August of that year because I'm like, well, I need the camera, I need the mic, the lights, I was grabbing all this stuff, and then like just telling myself, oh, I need this thing more. I gotta let me make the scripts. It's just like as soon as I sat down to actually do the thing, it just kept going. So yeah,
You need
that was some
far
great
less than what you need, bro. You ever heard the story of oh my god, I should know these people's names. I don't know these niggas' names. They invented the airplane, the Wright brothers, right?
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if you heard the story. It was them, right? They're just in the field trying to figure some shit out, trying to make a plane, and then they're competing against these companies that have hundreds and millions of dollars, and they're trying to create an airplane, and these two figure it out, and they have far less resources. Right? These people, I don't know what the hell they were doing. So to me, you really don't need as much as you think you do to get started.
Yeah.
You really don't.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I think it's just procrastinating. Like when I took a step back and looked, just like I was just wasting time.
Bro, it's fear. It comes down to fear.
Yeah.
Fear of, what if I say something wrong? What if I don't look good? And one of the things I also think, bro, like when we see Kobe Bryant or Michael Jordan or whoever like slam dunking or alley-oop, like that shit looks beautiful. And we think, I'm not going to look like that. And one of my beliefs is it's really hard to look good and get better at the same time.
Ooh.
It's really hard. Like mastery is beautiful. And that's because we suck at things, we don't look that good. Like we're not, but they sucked at one point too. So if you're worried about looking bad, bro, you gonna look bad. That's just part of the process. But it's really, 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 really hard to get better and look good. So you might as well just get started. And it's gonna suck. You're gonna suck, but that's okay. You gotta start. And that's why I tell myself, bro, anytime I do anything for the first time, I'm like, bro, this shit's gonna suck. It's gonna be hard. But when I try it again next week or the next day, it's gonna be a little bit easier. And it gets easier and easier. Then you have systems in place. Now you have routines in place. Now you're starting to get results in place. And yeah, bro, one of my favorite books is called The Slight Edge. And he talks about just doing these small things every day. And over time it compounds and you look back like, how the fuck did I get here? You just did all the small things every day. It goes for gaining weight. You start eating a bunch of bullshit every day. You didn't just consume 30,000 calories in one day. You consumed a bunch of little bullshit calories over a long period of time. And losing weight is the same way. You start to eat less calories, have a calorie deficit consistently over a long period of time.
Damn, you spitting. It's hard to look good while you're like learning something. Jeez.
It's hard to look good and get better at the same time.
Get better. I think I needed to hear that for sure. It's something I've been, especially like making music and stuff. It's something I've been working on for years. Like, I think it stems from like being a kid and like doing something new, like learning a new thing at school, and just being good at it. And then so when I do new things now, it's like if it's not right away and it's taking me more time, it's like
a lack of patience.
Now,
bro.
Now I really gotta lock in. No, I really gotta apply myself
do you make
to do
beats?
this. No, but I've been procrastinating
bro,
making beats.
I want to learn so bad, but I'm like, bro, I don't think I'm patient enough.
That's me right now.
Yeah.
I got the joint, the little pad and everything. I bought that joint like 2 years ago, bro. And since then, I sat down with it one day. I'm realizing just the process, like going to Splice and doing it, I'm like, all right, that joint just been sitting there since.
Yeah, bro.
So
another thing I do,
something I needed to hear.
Another thing I do, bro, I will go and buy a course on Skillshare, on Udemy. I don't care where the course is. If I can buy a course and watch somebody do something, and like, bro, that's really what I do. Let me say this other story. I have a YouTube video. I talk about this. This was years ago. I was in a network marketing business. I was broke. I was broke most of the time because I was poor managing my money. And I had this Toyota Camry. It was a 1998 Toyota Camry, 250,000 miles on it, right? And it was old and busted and rusted and all this other stuff. So one day I'm driving and the engine goes out, right? Or no, I think I get a flat tire. And so someone has to come and tow me. So I call my insurance company. Guy comes and tows me. And his name was Saeed. I will never forget this guy. Never forget this conversation. And I'm just like, I'm in network marketing, so I'm prospecting. I'm thinking I can recruit him or sell him stuff. So I'm talking and getting to know him. And he told me that, he had recently moved to America not long ago, and he had a job that he hated. And I was like, how did you start your tow truck business? He said, bro, when I bought this tow truck, I didn't know how to use it. So I went on YouTube. I found a video that showed me how to, use a tow truck. And then I called Geico. I got a contract with them. When your car breaks down, they call me. I tow you. They pay me $100 a tow. I do 10 tows a day. I go home. I said, bro, you bought a truck. You watch some videos, and now you're making $1,000 a day. He was like, yeah, that's just what I did. I was like, bro, why am I overcomplicating this? Yeah. So that's what I do, bro. I'm all about learning yourself. Like, I'm all about paying somebody who knows better than me to teach me.
Yeah. I'm definitely big on that too. I think part of it is just me being lazy, being stuck in my ways, but yeah, you gave me something to think about today.
So let me throw some more at you, bro. Let me throw some more at you. I don't think there's any such thing as lazy. I don't think anyone's lazy. I don't think that. I think procrastination is real, but we just talked about that's really fear. That's fear of looking bad. Fear of not. Yeah, that's what that is. But I don't think anyone is lazy. I think that we just have goals that don't inspire us. Right? Ooh, so think about it this way. If you have any bummy friends or cousins or whatever, right? And all they kind of do is lay on their mama's couch all day and eat cheesy poofs, right? And they don't have a job. They don't have anything really going on. They don't do nothing all day. They wake up. They might scratch their balls. They might watch Netflix. They might eat breakfast. They might eat lunch. They might smoke a blunt, and then they go to sleep and then do it all over. So it's not that they're lazy. Their goal was to wake up, scratch their nuts, eat breakfast, watch Netflix. Like their goal was to do what they did. And so if you don't ever aspire to something bigger, like if you don't have a goal that stretches you, why in the world would you stretch? You wouldn't. Some people's goal is just to exist, right? And then sometimes you might not have a goal because you never thought about goal planning. And then other times you might not have a goal because you don't believe you can achieve it. So your brain is just like, fuck it, instead of goal planning, we just gonna chill. Or you might not have a goal because and I've found myself here before, bro, where you set a goal and either you don't hit it, and so now you're disappointed, and now your brain is like, I don't want to feel that no more, so I ain't gonna set no goals no more. Or, bro, this is the worst. This is even worse than that. You set a goal, you achieve the goal, just to realize, man, I don't even want this shit. This was terrible. I did all of that for this. I remember I was at this company, first company out of college, telecommunication company, and I'm talking to my manager. Now, remind you, I'm $40,000 in debt, 4 years at a university to do this, right? And she looks at me and she's like, look, I can tell you're ambitious and you want to make a lot of money, but if you're looking to get rich, you came to the wrong place. Bro, I was heated. I was hot. And so I was like, bro, I did all of this. I'm in all this debt to get here, and I hate it here. And they hate me being here. And I'm not really finna make no money, bro. To me, that's the worst thing on earth. To have a goal, to work hard, just to realize I don't even want this shit no more. So now before I set any goals, I need to see somebody else who's hit that goal already. I need to be able to talk to them. Be like, all right, bro, tell me what your lifestyle looks like. Because what it looks like on the outside may not be what it is on the inside. For real. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I be trying to avoid.
Damn, yo, you in there spitting today. Definitely gave me shit to think about, because I think for me, it'd be like, I want to learn. It's probably just me doing too much. Like, I want to learn this thing. I want to be self-sufficient in all these different ways. So there's a lot of stuff I'll pay for, like, especially when it comes down to like my music, my engineering and stuff. Like, I'll pay for that because they know more. But there'd be certain things where it's like, well, if I do this thing myself or something, but it's not really a goal. It's just something that's like nice to me or nice to have or something like that. And that's you just open my eyes, like, that's really what the difference is. Like, the things that I've accomplished that I set myself out to do, like, I do those things. So clearly there's a lack of something there. And like you said, it's not laziness. Like, if I wanted to do that, I would do it. Yeah. I would be on the beat pad. I would be doing it.
Yeah.
Clearly, if I'm choosing to play Madden over that, or even if something productive, me doing an interview or something else over that, these are the things I wanted to do today, not that thing.
Yeah.
It's so obvious.
Yeah, bro. And here's another thing, bro. People don't And again, I've invested over $200,000 in myself over the last 2 years. So like, that's how I'm getting this information. People don't allocate time for rest. We live in a hustle culture. Like, America's the kind of place where, bro, very few people have just one job, right? You got a job and a side hustle, or a job and a business, or a job and a podcast, right? So we are in this hyper inflated economy where, like, even if you're living under a bridge in America, you're still in these top 1% wealthiest people on earth, right? So people don't realize that all the time. And we live in the land of glitz and glamour, and it's a very much a hustle culture, right? Especially in tech, because you got like black excellence and all this other shit, right? And I tell people, bro, my life, I'm saying my job, my work is not my life. Like, this is a thing that I do. This is not me, right? And so we tend to think like, okay, I got to be excellent, I got to get ahead, I got to do all these different things, and it's like, I mean, do you really? The only thing you have to do is stay black and die. That's what my daddy's telling me. I ain't got to do nothing else, right? I don't have to raise my kids. I ain't got to go to work. I ain't got to pay taxes. I ain't got to do nothing. There will be consequences if I don't, but I don't have to do anything. And what I'm learning is, this is where we get burnout from, bro. Like, burnout to me is like constant activity. You're constantly doing something. But like, even when you go to the gym and you start to lift weights, like, you're tearing your muscles when you're in the gym. But when you're sleeping is when your muscles rebuild themselves and you start to get stronger. You don't get stronger in the gym. You get stronger when you're resting. And we don't take time to rest. So that's why I tell people I create from a place of rest. Like, if I'm not having fun doing it, I'm not doing it. And then when I'm done doing it, I'm going to rest. Like very important, bro. Like, I like to sleep in on Sundays. I like to just relax. I like to walk. I take myself on dates. You know what I'm saying? I go get tacos. Like, I like to spend time with me, period, regardless. And then that way, me relaxing, I'm pouring into my cup. I'm making myself feel better. I'm doing things for me. So then when I get on here, or I'm chilling with the homies or whatever, or I'm with my lady, or I'm with my kids, like, now I can pour from a place of abundance instead of being empty. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what it is. I think you're right. I think you're trying to do too much. As a guy who's tried to do too much, and I have to like reel myself in. And it's not that you can't do it all. You just can't do it all at once. So it's like, all right, bro, this season, this is the priority. This is what I'm doing. Once I'm done with this, I'll move on to that. But it's hard to like keep yourself from getting distracted long enough. And then here's the other part. The other part about it is, you might get bored. Or you might get run into a challenge, and it's always easier to start something new, because that's exciting. New is always exciting, right? New is always exciting, but like, sometimes we don't push through the hard challenge, and then we jump to something new as a way to escape the growth, if that makes sense.
All this stuff sounds so obvious, but you saying stuff that it took me years to learn about myself and to figure out. Bro, if we would have had this conversation 5 years ago, I'd have been like, wow. Yeah, I'm gonna have to lock in with you more like outside of this, especially like the stuff you reading and what you getting into. Like,
yeah,
because like I said, it's stuff that you saying now, rest, and like every year I do a different project with like the theme of that year. So volume 5, that's 3 years ago or 4 years ago now. The theme of that year was fruits of my labor. Because I had to like realize like these are the stuff that I'm living at that time was stuff that I was looking forward to and hoping for and all these things.
Yep.
I'm reaching these goals and not even like enjoying the fruits of my labor or whatever. Like, that was
celebrating, bro. Celebration. Exactly. They don't celebrate enough. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. So it's like, since then it's been a constant process. So like you mentioned seasons. That's why now I'm in season 2 of this podcast, because I realized if I kept going the way I was going to get burnt out, and it wasn't going to be fun anymore. And I wasn't going to get the same fulfillment out of it. But music, I do an album every year. It takes like maybe 4 months, something like that. And then I take a break. I might do some videos, do some shows here and there, some stuff on the gram, some promo stuff. But like, I take a break in between, and that keeps it fresh every time I come back to do it again. But like I said, this took me years to learn. You know? Like, this is crazy. Damn. I really hope somebody like takes heed to that, because that, if I heard that, like I said, 5 years ago, 7 years ago, it would have helped me a lot
for sure. Same here.
All right, so Next question is, I'm curious, like especially based off of like your like knowledge about like the mind and all that. So, what has your experience been like as a black man? Um, and oh yeah, no, I forgot. Yeah, so that's pretty much the question. What has your experience been like as a black man? So, going into corporate America, being in college, like breaking into like this new field that not a lot of people know about, like whatever you want to get into, but like overall, what has your experience been like?
Man. So here's my thing, bro. I love my people. Let me start there. I love my people. I love black people. I love people in general. I don't like everybody, right? I don't like all racists. Okay. I think that we are all inherently racist a little bit, right? And when I say racist, I mean like you prefer what you prefer. To have a preference for a race, to me, is racist. Which is, and I don't mean it in a negative way. I just think I'm using it in a very I'm taking all the connotation away, right?
Okay.
That being said, I don't really get into the whole race talk. I like to make fun of different races. I think stereotypes are a thing for a reason, right? I'm not saying they're always true, but they are certainly fucking funny. And I don't know, bro. I mean, in tech, I'm used to being the only black person in my department or on the team or whatever. Do I chalk that up to racism? Maybe a little bit, but not really, because bro, it's 2025. If someone wanted to learn anything, you can get on YouTube and do it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I just think my experience has just been. Here's what I'll say, and I've never said this on any podcast. I'm at the point now, like all what they say, all skin folk ain't kinfolk. Just because you look like me, don't mean that you have good intentions in mind for me. And I'm also learning and I'm accepting, maybe begrudgingly, bro. Like there's a class system. A lot of things that we chalk up to racism is not really that. It's class. It's class, and every race has their upper and their lower class. Like that's just a thing, right? And so I just consider myself a classy person. I hang with classy people, and I befriend people with good character, regardless of what their race is, right? And I've met people and they're like, I don't like black people. And I'm like, I don't care. That ain't got shit to do with me. You know what I'm saying? And then I've also met people who like, bro, I know people who love black people and I know people who hate black people. And the difference is their experience, right? I'll give you an example. My barber out here, he cuts a lot of very prominent people in the DFW area, a lot of business owners, right? And there's this one Middle Eastern customer that he has, and he has some kind of convenience store somewhere, and this guy loves black people. And I was like, what? I've never heard of a Middle Eastern loving black people. What happened? He said, I started my store, in the hood. No one else wanted to come work for me. And so all my staff is black. Like I wouldn't be here today. Like I wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for black people. I love black people. Right now, on the opposite side, I have a young lady I used to play tennis with, and she's African, and her dad used to work at a gas station, right? And he can't stand black people. I said, what happened? She said, well, at this gas station, he worked at, it was always being robbed, and it was always being robbed by black people. So now he doesn't like black people, and it's just like, I get it. I understand. If I was constantly getting robbed by a certain group of people, I wouldn't like that group of people. Right. So like, I get it, bro. So to me, I say live and let live. I don't judge. I ain't gonna lie, I do judge, but like, I don't care enough. Like there's only so many fucks I have to give in a day. So I don't really look at skin or race. Now, what I will say, I love our culture. I love black culture, even though it's terrible in so many different ways. It's awful in so many ways. Some of those ways are our fault. Some things, it's not our fault. It was kind of forced upon us. But I think we have the most fun culture. Like I think our music is the most fun, our fashion and our dressing. Like, bro, we are trendsetters across the world. You know what I'm saying? And so I listen to bounce music in my house. I grew up in Houston. I love twerk music. Like that is like Houston and New Orleans are like very similar, especially after Katrina. I do plan on letting my daughter listen to all of that stuff, all the sexy rays. We're gonna listen to all of it, and I'm gonna let her know, like, hey, this is entertainment. Okay, don't go out here and try to live like her. And if you do, you're gonna end up with her results, right? So, like to me, I love the culture. I love the music. Our food is terrible. Our food is awful, but it tastes good. but it tastes good. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, that's my whole answer.
Wow, I've never had an answer like that ever. That was that's an interesting perspective. It sounds like you like concern yourself with things you need to be concerned with, like as far as like whether or not, you know, you mentioned like somebody not liking black people or whatever, you like it don't if it's not like directly affecting you. Yeah, I feel that for sure. I think obviously we live in this country, we know, like, you know, the history and stuff, you know, the certain, like you said, the stereotypes and stuff, like things exist. Do you think that you being from where you were from and how you kind of was able to get yourself out of there, do you think that has an effect on your outlook, as far as you mentioned, like other people can look, you know, go on YouTube and learn things and stuff like that. Like, so like when I'm the only black person in the room, it will be like, where is everybody? Like, why don't y'all? That's why I started the channel, because like, why don't y'all know about this? Like, is it like us? Like, they didn't have somebody to put them on? Are they not interested? Is it lack of opportunity? Like, what is it? So, do you feel like, yeah, like you kind of pulled yourself out? You knew you made your, like I talked about earlier, you made your mind up about certain things. You went forward. You put yourself in certain positions. You took opportunities. You learned things that you need to learn and to to get yourself where you are now. So, do you feel like since you did it, other people should be able to do it? And then in that sense, do you think that, how do I say it? Like you mentioned like a class thing. So I'm trying to think of the best way to kind of combine this question, phrase it. Yeah. But like, I agree about like the classes and stuff too. Like whether we like it or not, there's definitely a certain, I don't know, it's just a certain level of like when people are, what they're exposed to, I guess, where their mindset is at. And that, you know, that could go back as far as like it could go get a lot deeper. But as far as you and your mindset compared to other people from where you're from, I think that's a good way to frame it. Do you think that? What do you think the difference is? I think that's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Here's what I believe the difference. I don't think I'm better than anybody. Like I would never. Like I fight to keep that belief away. I'm not better than anyone, right? Like if I wanted to live under a bridge today and be dirt poor, I could do it. I could just make a series of bad decisions and I'd be dirt poor under a bridge. Anyone can do it. So that's not what separates me from people. I think what separates me is like, one, bro, I love greatness. I love winners. I like talking shit. I ain't gonna lie. I don't do it a lot online. I love talking shit. And I love people who can talk shit with numbers, right? You might say, man, Kendrick Lamar's album was the best this year. I might say J. Cole's was the best this year. I like the guy who comes in and says, bro, I was number one in sales, period. Like, this is a fact. Like, y'all are sharing y'all's opinion. The fact of the fucking matter is I'm number one. Take that to the bank. I like that. I like success. I like people who speak with numbers and success. And so when I see a winner, that's what I'm trying to say. I like winners. When I see a winner, bro, and I've got a big ego. I've got a very, very big ego. But when I see a winner, bro, I walk up to them and I'm like, you are amazing. This is dope. I want that to rub off on me. This is how I make friends. I meet great people and I say, bro, I am a fan. I love this. I want that shit to rub off on me. AD, nice to meet you. When can I take you to lunch? When can I pick your brain? Fuck it. I'm gonna start picking your brain right here and now. And so when I see someone doing something well, bro, I'm like, I have to ask them. I must know, right? Because it's not like they do everything differently. There's 1 to 2 major or small things they do differently. That's really what the truth is. It's 1 to 2 small differences. And so I meet them. I put my ego aside. I become very humble. And I'm like, hey, teach me. Right now, once you get to a certain level, they make you pay. Right. But when you're young and you're in the ghetto, like it's not that hard. Right. And I think a lot of people, bro, I think black people as a culture, I don't think we like ourselves. I think the black culture is filled with a lot of self-hate. Right.
Yeah.
And so I think one of the consequences of that is that when someone sees when someone who does not like themselves, and I'm not saying this is a black thing, I'm just saying this is a self-hate thing. If I don't like me and I see you winning, I feel worse about me. So now instead of being willing to humble myself and say, hey bro, I'm like, this is inspiring. Can you give me a nugget? Can you give me a gem? I say, man, fuck that nigga.
Damn.
You see what I'm saying? And so, and the other thing, I have my father in my life. That's another major thing, right? A lot of people who I grew up with didn't have their fathers in their lives, right? So my dad made a lot of bad decisions. He made a lot of mistakes, and he would tell me like, hey, don't do this. I did this. Don't do that. I did that. Don't do that. And then when I would go do it, he'd be like, I told you don't do it, huh? Right? Okay. And he would let me learn by making my own mistakes. So that's how I am with my children. I'm going to let you make the mistake. I tell my son to stop jumping off shit. He don't listen. Fuck it. Go ahead and hurt yourself. And once you hurt yourself, you're never going to do it again. Bro, I'll tell you how. So my dad was an alcoholic at one point, right? So he went through a 12-step program. And to this day, he still goes to AA meetings, not because he has to, but because he likes giving back, right? And I'll never forget, bro. This is the reason why I drink, but never to the degree to where he did. Like, this is the day I said, this is the reason I don't drink beer, right? I remember one day, I'm young. I don't remember how old I am. I'm probably less than 7 years old. He and his friends are in the kitchen. They're playing dominoes, talking shit, right? Drinking beer. And I'm like, ooh, I want to try it. And he was like, no, you're not. It tastes like shit. I said, I want to try it. He let me try it. It tastes like shit. I ran to this thing. I spit it out. I said, I don't see why y'all drink this. I never drink this shit. To this day, I've had 2 beers in my life. I don't drink it. But like, what do most people do? Oh, I'm going to try to shield my children from it. I'm not going to let them see it. I'm not going to. No, when you tell someone don't do something, all you do is you invoke their curiosity in their mind. Yeah. I'm going to let you do it. Go for it. And then you're gonna see it's not gonna go well for you. And then now you don't want to do it. It's really that simple, bro. I believe in letting the loser lose. So meaning if someone is making bad decisions, and a loser in my book is someone who lacks accountability. They find a way to blame others for everything going on in their life. And I've learned that the more accountable I am for my outcomes, the better my life gets. So if I'm upset and I'm like, oh, they pissed me off, they made me angry. No. They don't have the ability to make me angry. I give them my power. I got angry. I chose to get angry when I saw them do whatever so now I'm like, you don't get to choose how I feel. I choose how I feel. I don't blame people for how I feel. I don't blame, period. Like, blame is a waste of time, right? So yeah, bro, I think that's the difference. I will see a winner win. And then I will walk up to them. Hey, nice to meet you. That was amazing, bro. How did you get to able to do this? And another thing that always is a thing, they have a great mentor. They always have a great mentor. They always had someone who grabbed them, pulled them aside, and like really helped them get to where they go. So no one is self-made. But that's the difference, bro. And I have my father in my life. And so I don't think that most people do that. Where I come from, like, they're not gonna see you do well and then be like, hey, bro, that's great. They're gonna be like, I ain't no fan, bro. I ain't finna dick ride. It ain't got nothing to do with that, bro. He's better than me. Why am I gonna go take advice from someone who's worse than me or at the same level as me? He's better. I'm going to go get advice from him and I'm going to use it. And then I'm going to go walk in rooms and I'm gonna be him. And they're gonna be like, bro, how'd you do that? You're gonna have to pay me. God damn it. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what I do.
Damn, that was a good answer. It took me a minute to get around to what the actual question was, but no, that was a good answer. So, and you, it's like a quick thing, but like having your dad there, I think is a big, because for me too, like my dad wasn't playing certain stuff. He didn't even let me have like toy guns and stuff like that. So it's certain things like hanging on the corner. It just wasn't a thing. When I like 5th grade, I'm like 10, I'm getting in fights and stuff. He nipped that super fast. Like, it just was certain things where he just, at the time, even if I thought it was you doing much, like all that, it's certain stuff where it's like, yeah, like he nipped a lot of stuff. He let me learn from experience. He, shared his experiences, and I think that did play a big part in like me not ending up in certain places and stuff like that. So yeah, that was like a quick thing in there, but I think that is a
huge thing, bro.
Important to very important to say. And then some like the stuff you were saying like kind of resonated with me as far as accountability. I got a song on my project out right now called Accountability, because it's something it's like a theme of this year, but like it's something I've been working on, introspection, like stuff like that, and like why I do certain things and how certain decisions I make and how many times I got to learn the same lesson for me to realize like these decisions are putting me in this position where I'm missing deadlines or I'm forgetting about certain things or whatever it might be. Like just ways I can get better overall. You mentioned before, like getting yourself to a point where you're just constantly, getting better and stuff like that. So yeah, that was a good answer.
Yeah.
That was a
Yeah, bro.
answer.
I look at myself as the most improved player. Like you might be better than me now, but you're not going to improve at the rate that I improve. And I'm not even doing it to compete against you. I just like what it feels like to improve. You know what I'm saying? Like if I watch the NBA, you got the scoring champion, you got the defensive player of the year, but to me, the most impressive award is always the most improved player. That means of all 300 some players, my growth was better, was higher. Like I've made the most progress in terms of bro. Like that's exciting to me.
Yeah, I love that mindset. Yeah, same. Because that's perfectly said. I'm always trying to. It's like me against me, I guess. That's the way to put it. Like you getting better every day, that 1% every day type of mindset. Like just as long as you improving, yeah. You got. I like this perspective. All right, so now I'm curious really about this next question and how you're going to answer this, because the next question is adversity or things that you had to overcome. So you mentioned like the accountability portion of it, and obviously it's going to be a lot of things that aren't in your hands, or you can only control your circumstances so much sometimes. So I'm curious, like what would you see as like adversity or obstacles that you had throughout your life and then like to get to where you are,
bro? You ever heard somebody say the thing that makes a great wide receiver is they forget about the last play? Like they're just on to the next. I think I do that a lot. So I don't know if this answer is going to be really good because I forget about shit because it was like, yeah, it was a challenge then, but like I'm past that now. I'm on to the next thing, right? But there are all kinds of challenges, right? I'll tell you one thing I'm learning from therapy is like the lack of stability, right? The moving around, living with several different people throughout the years. Like my therapist basically says like, bro, there's PTSD, which means like there's a moment, like something happened, and let's say it's a gunshot because you were in war. Now, whenever you hear things pop or whatever, like now your body feels like you're back at war. She's like, that's what happens when it's one thing, like one moment. She's like, nigga, you had years of trauma. That's why you can't remember any one particular. You had years of trauma. So that's what I'm saying. That's another thing. Bro, so many things. Like my childhood was not safe, right? But what that's did is it's created the conditions to where, bro, if I feel like my back is against the wall and I've got to get it, no one else is gonna do it for me, which is how I feel all the goddamn time. I figure it out. I just go get it, right? And so one of the biggest challenges and adversities I have now is networking, bro. It's just opening up. It's doing this. It's instead of seeing everybody as a competitor, it's like, all right, no, these are my peers. Let me reach out. Let me collaborate. And it's so cliche, bro, but it is so true. They say at the bottom, people are competing, and at the top, people are collaborating. Bro, that is so true. It is so true. So to answer your question, right now, my biggest challenge is collaborating, networking, reaching out, adding value, learning how to get in the right rooms, and leveraging my skill set, leveraging my my value, you know what I'm saying, in such a way that like I can build and learn how to lead. I've got like employees, I've got staff, you know what I'm saying, I have all these different hats that I wear, and it's another challenge is like doing it all, making sure nothing falls apart type of thing, right? And then I even find it challenging sometimes. It's gonna sound repetitive. I find it challenging to challenge myself almost, because it's like, bro, I live a lifestyle where like simplicity and convenience are very important to me. Very important to me. I get at least one massage every week. Okay, to me that's self-care, that's self-love, right? And sometimes it's like, because my mentor, bro, he makes tens of millions of dollars a month. He works in his business 20 hours a week. I'm like, bro, that's the lifestyle for me. It's not this 60, 80, 100 hours a week, climb the corporate ladder. Fuck all that. That ain't the lifestyle for me. That might be the lifestyle for someone else, but it's not me, right? And so when I say it's challenging to challenge myself, it's like, if I want things to be like, you could work hard and work for money or chase the money, or you can become attractive and have the money come to you. I'm more likely to become attractive and attract the things and the people that I want, if that makes sense, right? But because I love comfort so much, and it probably goes back to my childhood, not having a lot of stability, it's like I'm very much prone to becoming too comfortable, if that makes sense, right? But at the same time, bro, I like comfort. Like you hear the David Goggins of the world, they're like, fuck comfort, you don't need that, you need to struggle. Man, bro, entrepreneurship is hard enough. Okay, I don't need nothing else.
No, I got you. Yeah, we're gonna get into where you see your journey going and stuff like that. And I mean, I guess it's a good segue. So it's like where you see yourself going like 5, 10, 20 years from now. And then the second part of this is, what does retirement look like for you? So you mentioned you kind of got into, but not on here, but you mentioned like your family, you know, wanting a bigger family, and I don't, if you want to get into that type of stuff too. So where do you see yourself going? Like you got a lot of, I don't know, you got a lot of experience under your belt, and it seemed like you got a lot of things that you could potentially get into if you wanted to. A lot of connections, a lot of potential. So where do you see yourself going like 5, 10, 20 plus years from now? And then like, what does retirement look like for you?
I don't think I'll ever retire, meaning like do nothing. Yeah. I'll probably never do that. Long term, bro, like I'm going to build I'm in the process of building a consulting firm, right? Where we're going to be doing simple automations, right? I skipped over this part earlier, but bro, in my career as an RPA developer, because I've seen the technology from its infancy to where it is today, right? I've been a part of a lot of things that didn't go well, like projects that just didn't work, right? Because they were trying to do too much. They call it like boil the ocean, right? So my firm, like we're just going to do simple, very rudimentary, like processes automation, right? Like it's going to be come to us if you have simple tasks. Like if you're trying to touch 32 applications, that's too much. You're doing too much, right? It's simple things, right? I've seen companies waste hundreds of thousands of dollars and not get anything into production because they're just trying to do too much. And outside of that, bro, my bigger calling and passion is to help men have better relationships. So I have a YouTube channel, and I also have a school community called King's Corner, right? And I just want to grow that. That's all I want to do. I want to give back to men. I want to teach men all the mistakes that I've made so they don't have to make them. And our 4 cornerstones are self-love, self-respect, self-acceptance, and gratitude. Like that's the cornerstone of everything. And so I just want to have an organization of 15,000 men, and I want to teach men to value themselves again. You know what I'm saying? And so I want to teach men how to have better relationships with themselves so that they can then go out here and have better relationships with their women, better relationships with their children, and all communities everywhere get better. So that's what I really want to do, bro. It's kind of vague in terms of how I'm going to do it, but I know I'm going to be using the internet, and I'm just going to be talking to the people who want to listen. And again, bro, if I'm at the point now, if I can go and I can coach millionaires and billionaires on game and self-love and self-respect and get better relationships with their women, then bro, then everybody needs to hear this. You know what I'm saying? There's no one who can't benefit from some of this, this information that I've learned just living life.
Yeah, that would be cool to see. Like definitely, I think something of value that you can provide to people, especially when you talk about a certain type of men that might be on that extreme side. I think they would benefit from hearing a much more nuanced outlook on what it means to lead, and like not always be angry. You don't got to always be upset or always be this loud, aggressive person. Like you can lead with confidence and also be calm and tranquil and get your voice across and your point across without having to smack the table and do all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I think a lot of people would benefit from that for sure. So, you should definitely get into that. All right. So you mentioned that, and this is what I expected from you. A lot of people that I've interviewed, they don't really want to retire in a traditional sense. So it sounds like you'll either be consulting or building on the other platforms that you plan to kind of have future endeavors within. So like what does retirement, like quote unquote, look like?
Bro, if you look at the data, people who retire from their job and then just sit home die sooner than those who don't. Right? I'm not fucking gonna. I'm not gonna do that to myself. Right? Yeah. But I think there's this. I think it was Bruce Lee who had this concept of plus equal minus. Right? Mm-hmm. So plus is the people who are ahead of you. These are your mentors. Equal are your peers. They're on the same playing field. You're kind of in the same battle, in the same journey together, trying to get where you're trying to go. Right? I looked at that as like my tech peers. Right? And then minus is like who you're mentoring, who you're helping, who you're pouring into to help them get to the next level. So I love being mentored and I love mentoring. So like I'm always going to be doing that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm always going to be reading new things, taking in new knowledge, simplifying it into my own little ghetto ass terms and analogies, and then giving them back to others. And so that's I'm always going to be doing that. Like I enjoy that. I find that fun. Right. So like I don't see why that would stop. Now to me, retirement looks like I'm no longer working in my company or in my business and making all the major day-to-day decisions. Gotcha, but there's never going to become a point where it's like I'm not adding value by giving back. You know what I'm saying? I'm like I'm never going to stop learning or stop divulging what I've learned to the people so they can get better. And ultimately, bro, I've got children, right? Yeah. So like it's gonna be if they will listen. I don't know if they're gonna listen or not, but if they want to listen to the game, it's like, bro, let me give you all the mistakes that I made, so you can like really start your life here. Whereas where I started here, and you can like avoid all the mistakes because I've learned all the principles already.
Yeah, no, I love that. It's like each one teach one. I think that's the old saying they had. But like as you make it up, pull that next person up with you. Or as much as you can, pour back into them. And then you mentioned like your university and stuff like that. So yeah, it seems like you're already putting that in motion. So you're just going to continue doing that going forward. Yeah. All right. So we want to start wrapping up. The last two parts are kind of combining. So it's like you gave a lot throughout, but like what tips do you have to somebody that might be going through something that you went through or trying to get to where you are, trying to get into RPA, whatever, like what tips you might have. And then after that, it's like any additional stuff you want people to know, anything you want to plug, your site, is on there, but any other sites, you mentioned stuff on YouTube, like anything else.
Yeah. So if you're somebody out there who's looking to break into the tech world, to me, it's really 4 steps. You must learn a technical skill set. You must have your digital footprint right, meaning you become a subject matter expert. My particular standard for my students within RPA University is when someone Googles your name, you should be the whole first page of Google. Like, and it should be all things that paint you in a positive light, right? Third, you need to become a beast at interviewing. This means you need to work on your people skills. Okay. I got one friend, he's like, how well can you talk to white people? He's like, that's really what you need to be able to do to get in tech. Right. And then 4, you have to apply for a lot of jobs, bro. You have to just keep going like 30, 40, 50, 60 a day and continuing to just interview and get better. So, if like those are the 4 tips, you could just and the funny thing about those 4 tips is it works for every sector of tech. It doesn't matter if it's UI, UX, you still got to learn the skill set. And then the next 3 steps are all the goddamn same. So it doesn't matter. Pick a skill and then do the other 3 things. Now, if these skills, the thing I like about RPA is, to me, it's the simplest thing I've ever laid my eyes on. Like for me, it's simple, it's straightforward, and I'm not trying to think too goddamn hard. So I would say pick RPA, but obviously I'm biased. And so if all of that sounds good, you know what I'm saying, you can walk through those steps yourself. Or if you desire to work with me, work with my team, kind of have us simplify things and hold your hands to make sure you can get there, then go into breakintotechnow.com. I have a whole case study on how I helped one of my really, really good friends named Walter go from $75,000 to multiple 6 figures. He ended up buying his dream car. His wife went through RPA University. Now she's making 6 figures. I went to their wedding, bro. They had almost 1,000 people at their wedding. They spent over 6 figures on their wedding alone. And most of it was funded by RPA. Right. And so if you go into breakintotechnow.com, drop your name, your phone number, your email, you'll get the case study on like how I helped them do that, how we made that happen. And then at the end of that video, you have the opportunity to book a call with either me or my team, where we assess if now is the right time to kind of work together. And I'm not one of those people who is like, hey, bro, I'm here to take your money. No, I only work with people who I like. So if I don't like you, it's not going to work. If you're broke, it's not going to work. Okay. I sell very expensive things. I tell people we're the the Lamborghini, the Bugatti, the the Maserati of the tech mentorship industry. And so you're working with someone who's not just an entrepreneur who started a company in the tech space. You're working with someone who's in the field. I'm currently an RPA developer. I'm employed doing it. Okay. Mm-hmm. And you're working alongside me and I'm helping you duplicate my success, if that makes sense. Right. So yeah, go and breakintotechnow.com, or if you want to watch a bunch of free content, that's another thing I tell people. Go watch my YouTube channel. I told you this yesterday. I can't stand when people contact me like, all right, bro, tell me what is RPA. Tell me everything about it. Nigga, if you don't go to Google, you know what I'm saying? So go to my YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, search bar, and just type the RPA Guy. All my channel comes up. All my videos come up. I respond to like all my comments and all the content on there. And then on the other side, the masculinity side of things, I have a YouTube channel called King's Corner Podcast TV. So if you go to YouTube, you click the search bar and type the @ symbol and then King's Corner Podcast TV. I've got an interview with Bandman Kevo. I was on the Ugly Money Nietzsche show. I was on the I just said it earlier. No Jumper podcast. Yeah, bro. I've dibbled and dabbled in that world, but bro, I have so much content just based around masculinity and just having a loving, kind, respectful relationship with yourself. And it's just so interesting that like when you start to treat yourself better and think higher of yourself, like your vibration changes and then you start to attract and you start to see people who appreciate you, who treat you better. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, all of that can be found on my that YouTube. And you can also, I have digital products and things like that, all around relationships, also around using AI to understand what your subconscious limiting beliefs are so you can replace them and fix them and just become a better version of yourself, man. So you can find all that on that YouTube. You can also find it at makemeking.net. Okay, makemeking.net. And so, yeah, man, that's all I got.
Appreciate it. I'm gonna throw everything up at the top. But yeah, that's all I got. Also, so like it was good talking to you. I definitely would love to do more on the, like, if you mentioned your other podcast, like if you're interested in like guests on there and stuff, because I definitely, like you mentioned, like men's nature and stuff. Like it was other stuff that you mentioned that I do want to like go a little more into. But yeah. Like, definitely would love to talk more about like your mindset on that and everything. But yeah, I appreciate you taking this time, yo. This is a good joint. It's very insightful. Gave me a lot to think about, different mindset stuff, different books and stuff that I'm about to look into, especially RPA in general. I'm about to get busy on that joint. But yeah, man. You got anything else before we like close out?
No, that's it, man. Go follow me on Instagram at the RPA Guy. You can follow the masculinity stuff on Instagram at King's Corner Podcast. And shoot me a message. I manage all my own DMs. So if you're talking to someone, you're talking to me. And any kind of questions or content that the people want to see, write me a message, let me know so I can create it. And another thing about me, bro, you're going to get these jokes. I like making fun of people. So a lot of my content, you're going to see me making fun of people. I got a video dropping tomorrow. And it's detailing the 3 types of men in terms of making buying decisions. And like I basically say in the video, bro, if you're the type of man who has to like go to his woman and ask mommy for permission to make a buying decision, don't hit me, bro. Cause if we know that, is that your mother or is that your wife, bro? Like a lot of men are like, they like their wife tells them who they can hang out with, who they can't, where they can go, when they can. And it's like, bro, I'm out here trying to inspire and help men, bro. So like, there's nobody like me in the tech world. So yeah, man, I've got a lot of controversial content, but it's all coming from a place of love and wanting to see people do better and feeling like, we're living in a time where men have been hoodwinked to give away their power and all this other shit. And I'm not here for it, bro.
All right, no, we're gonna talk about that. But yeah, all right, you got anything else?
Nah, bro, that's it. I ain't gonna talk no more. I'm done.
All right, yeah. That's it, yo. This has been another episode of My Tech Story. I know we got into some other stuff, but like, yeah, stay tuned to, you said King's Corner, right?
Yeah, King's Corner. I'll give you all the links and all that. But this is a tech channel. This is the tech channel. So go in the breakintotechnow.com. You know what I'm saying? Check out the testimonies. Right. And after watching the video, you'll have the ability to book a call with either me or someone on my team.
Sounds good. All right. Yeah. So yeah, this has been another episode of My Tech Story. Y'all be safe.
Can't force it. Happen how it's meant to. Can't force it. Way it's meant to.